Hello, friends. It's special and time coming up the docket for you here this afternoon, whatever time you're watching. I don't know. And it's a rematch. IEM Katowice, the series where special kept time out of the playoffs and knocked Ryung into it. So we're gonna have to see who has the better of it here. But folks, before we get into that, remember, like, comment, subscribe. I upload one video in 4K, one cast every single day of the week, or at least I try. Sometimes YouTube is a bit ordinary. And also, I stream on Twitch every Monday, EPT North America, every Saturday, EPT Korea, and some other stuff around that. Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern, Saturday, 11 p.m. Eastern. And in 2 weeks, King of Battles 3 is going to be starting. That's going to be fun. But for now, folks, let's get in to game number 1. Spawning in the bottom left here in the red. Finally, we're in a game for PSISTORM. It's time. Kaizi, actually. And in the upper right, actually for PSISTORM here in the teal, his name is Special. Okay, folks, so for now, you all should be familiar with this build. At least the build that Time is doing. This is Barracks, Double Gas, Factory, Command Center. But Special, he's going to try to get away with the Reaper Expand. 1 gas, you get Reapers out, you build a Command Center, and you go from there. Now, if Special gets away with this, he's going to find himself a minor economic lead. His Command Center will be done at some point. All right, so for now, I mean, Time doesn't get much. But realistically, what we're looking at here is not the first Reaper versus the first Reaper. I mean, again, it's Reaper versus Reaper. What are you going to do? But it's when we see Time find his way into 2, 3 Reapers, depending on what he exactly wants to do here. When he gets Hellions as well, that's when it gets a little bit scary for Special. But now, of course, the 2 Reapers take a little bit longer to sync on up. So Special does have his Command Center on the way, Orbital on the way. And this is an Orbital that's going to be done before the Command Center of Time is complete. So from that perspective, I mean, again, Special does have this decided economic lead, but his factory, he's getting his first Hellion on out. He's not going to have quite as much aggressive units. Not just yet, but he is reactoring out Marine, so really, he should be safer, and that just means Time is going to have to accept that, yeah, he's a little bit economically behind. It's not the end of the world, but not exactly the best thing. Although Time, again, as we do see the result of this earlier gas, he's going to have much faster tanks. And the really interesting thing, though, is Time is absolutely, he's going for some aggression here. It's a medevac. There's no tech lab on this starport. We may see this swap eventually. But for now, medevacs and tanks in there. And there we go. There's the tech lab going on down. But Time wants damage now. He wants to be able to countermand the damage that he has taken by effectively by having the negative end of a build order. So 4 Marines in the medevac tank as well. Hellions and Reaper on the bottom side. How much damage will Time get done here? We're going to have to find out. But now the medevac looking to speed on in. This is going to be maybe a dead Hellion, but no, Time just finding himself in that rather annoying position with the tank sieging on up. It's not really a spot that Special can break just yet, but his Raven doesn't have Auto turret energy. He's got auto turret energy, yes, but no disables just yet here. But luckily here for Special, his tank is actually, none of his add-ons are in range of the spot that time is sieged up. So he's not going to have to give up his production all that much, at least for the moment. And I think we're just going to see Special wait for his Raven to be where it needs to be. Okay, interesting. He picks up the okay, yeah, he just wants Stim. So now we're going to see Time trying to move on into the natural. The tank on the low ground will be dealt with. Tank siege on up for that one, but Time into the natural here, looking for some value. The Reaper grenades are actually super value, not allowing Special to take the fight as he would wish. And remember, the Raven energy has been spent, but now Tank is going to move on forward. SCV is getting pulled here, and it looks like Special should be able to survive. The question, though, is at what cost? How many workers go down? And actually, well, okay, the Marines should still be enough here, but good micro for Time. Special, he does not kill off everything, and now the tank has to go on the low ground, but there we go. That is a dead cycle, and Time will be pushed on back. Special with a 1 worker lead now. All right, so now Time getting into his Ravens just a little bit more. How many does he have right now? He's got 1. He's adding a second. Special actually deciding to stop at 1, which I guess in part because he had to make that hold happen. He wanted to make sure he didn't lose too much in the exchange. But you almost maybe feel like you might expect him to go back into it just because 2 Ravens are so powerful. But that's not going to happen for right now. So now Time, he's got his 3rd base up. Special does as well. Special, actually, even the 1 worker lead he had is not there anymore. Time's upgrades are a little bit faster. Stim slower. 1-1, slightly faster, but most likely will not impact things all that much. And Special is going to look to abuse the fact that his Stim is done. He's going to scan the main base. He's going to say, okay, that's where part of your army is, but yeah, Special, you do not want to take a second tank shot. He could drop on these tanks, though. Yeah, he's going to be able to get a couple of these tanks here. We're going to see tanks unsiege and actually can't kill them anymore. It's a fun idea, but no, he's going to lose a couple of Marines. Does not get the tanks. He gets damaged, though, and that's something. SCVs will repair it, and that is that. But in the meantime, Time has actually cut workers a little bit. I don't think that was necessarily intentional, but Raven auto turret. Oh, never mind. Maybe that's the worker damage. 4 workers go down there. But the Vikings and the Ravens here should be able to clean up this couple of Marines. They're really not doing all that much for Special. I mean, they're there and they're posturing, but and that really should be the extent of things. So, friends, now we move into the mid game. We move into this position where neither player can really easily break their opponent until we go to 4 bases. Special's going to try because he reads that he has a small advantage in this game. I think that'd still be correct even after the damage he took from the push, but emphasis on small. You need big advantages to break a turtling Terran in this matchup. Small advantages, you can move around, you can try to find something, but you need a little bit more than that. Although there is a there's an attack path. If Special wants to Doom drop in, it is only 5 Marines. Their stim is not done. And there's this path right through the center where Special could move on over and actually go and just do tremendous damage into the main base. But he's not going to see it. And realistically, that would be a ballsy-ass play. So I understand why he would not go for it. And Time understanding the state of this game. 4th base on the way. Same 2 for Special. 1-1 done for both sides. Armory on the way for both sides. Both players being a little bit slow on the matter. So there Special, actually, if he is on top of things, he should have the minor 2-2 lead, much like his opponent had the minor 1-1 lead. But as the game expands on 2,000 atmospheres here, as the Time tries to take his 4th base, this is where things start to get more interesting. Does Special get aggressive as Time tries to take his 4th? Because again, once the planetary is up, it's a lot harder to break. But if you try to catch your opponent as they are actively taking it, then you can maybe find some value. And certainly as the 4th base is up anyways, it does open the map up a little bit more, especially with all of a sudden, a rather significant supply lead. It's really only 12 supply in the army, and that is all in the Marines. Special has 20 more Marines, which is great. But when we're looking at, what was it, 5 tanks? 7 tanks. When we're looking at 7 tanks, 3 tanks here, or 4 or 5 actually here, Marines, they only matter so much. They're powerful units, sure, but they only matter so much here when we're talking about trying to break a defensive Terran, especially as the Ravens are here, and that means armor shredder missiles, which means the Marines would be at -1 armor. Yeah, they would die. They would die very quickly. So for now, Special will satisfy himself on the fact that his planetary is done as Time is moving his base over. So again, Special with an economically just 4 workers this time, but he's been mining there longer, so he's going to have a burst in money just a little bit. And look at this. I really like this from Special. He says, okay, the mid game's over. There's no point in trying to play this this mid game. I'm not going to find value. My opponent is really turtled up. As a couple Marines say, wait for me. Wait for me. I want to do something too. But realize that the mid game is pretty much over. So double starport going down. Special moving into Vikings, Ravens. Yeah, he's probably still going to get 3-3, but the time of Marine tank is passed us by without much happening. In fact, I mean, not a lot of resources have lost in this game. Yeah, it's 30 to 26, but for a 10-minute game, losing 2.6k, 3k is not a lot. Special just kind of zooming around, try to see if he can find an opening maybe, but he will not be able to do so, as now his army is going to move on in. Tank's actually unsieged until right now. Special is going to get a shot off. Okay. So right now, Time, he has a bit better of a tank upgrades. In fact, I think his 2-2 might finish slightly faster, but again, folks, these are the difference of 5 seconds. It really will not make that big of a difference. But Corvid reactors first. That may. Special adding on multiple additional command centers. Kind of taking a page out of Ryung's book, how Ryung likes to play TVT. Where the moment you realize the game is going late, you just really hardcore commit to it here. So now Special's going to try to take this fight. It's 2-2 versus 2-2. And he had a bit of a flank, so even as he didn't have a flank anymore, that first fight was going to be good enough. He forces Time off the left side. The army runs home. But again, while both players are building 2 Ravens at a time, the Ravens of Special will have more energy to them. They will be able to disable immediately. And look at this. Special's going for the hard contain. Adding missile turrets in front of his tanks. I mean, Time's doing the same. This is such an interesting game here. Not a lot has happened. We have had like 2 skirmishes. But this is a game of mind games on mind games on mind games. And I think it's actually very interesting that Time has elected to play this game. And now we're going to see the armor shredder missiles go off, because I mean the Ravens have plenty of energy. Armor shredder missiles on both sides, and that just makes it really hard for the Vikings to fight. But Special actually doesn't eat all of his Vikings on the shot, so technically his Vikings are better. Now tanks are going to be disabled here, which means the tanks of Special can move on forward, but disables on those as well. So really not going to get all that much done here. But here's the big deal. Vikings are going to take a pretty positive fight on the air, because there are just less Vikings that have armor shredder on them for Special than Time. But I believe Time had a Viking lead. So at the end of the day, not really going to make that big of a difference. Special backs up. But as I was saying, I find it interesting that Time has opted to go for this type of game, because we saw him in Katowice. He got to this point against Ryung a couple times, and he had no desire to play late game against Ryung. All right, there we go. Remove that account. Ban him out. I don't think we lost. We didn't miss much of anything. But now Special maybe thinks he's a slot here in the middle. It's still 5 tanks. I don't know. Maybe if he gets some disables. But again, I think this is so cool. This missile turret spam in front of all of his tank lines. What this means is that it's actually rather hard, as there were 2 missile turrets on the way. One's going to be delayed here. But what it means is any sort of Raven attempted disable means the air army of Time will eat a lot of damage. It's going to be hard for that to happen. So Special actually takes positive trait as well here. The Ravens look to run on forward. Disables on top of things. The sensor tower is actually where things are happening here. But Time says, oh, those are just tanks. It's not a lot of Marines. I'm going to be able to force this push back. So Special will cede position in the center of the map. Remember, he is up a base, I think. Yeah, he's on 7 bases. His opponent is on 6. And as these Marines are, again, armor shredded, the Marines of Special are not. He has defender's advantage. Time is going to now own the sensor tower. But we really shouldn't see much more than that. There we go. The tanks are all going to be disabled. The bio of Special gets on top of things. Armor shredder missile on... Yeah, the Time does not win this fight. Well, actually, a bunch of tanks get disabled again. It doesn't matter. The armor shredder missile on the bio here because the Special wins this fight in space. He has the tanks too. It doesn't even really need to kill him. And that was a significant supply swing here, especially in the Viking lead. It is 9 Vikings to 2. And because all this army on the left side was dealt with, Special now, he can move in, he can take the Zelnaga tower, he can deny these command centers that that Time wants to take in the upper left. He can really deny both of them from going down. Notice your Special is actually going to let them move in a little bit further in position. So as the bio stims in, this is most likely a dead command center here. Yeah, it's dead. There's no saving it. There we go, going down, and Special's going to find another one. It's going to land, I think. Well, it doesn't matter. But whatever happens, it's going to be another dead command center. Time losing 2 bases. You're into, they're not mining. But losing 2 bases here is not exactly what Time had planned from that forward expansion. Look at this though. So we saw, shoot, was it was Gumiho Trap? I think we saw a battlecruiser play in that matchup. Seemed decent, but BC play has always been the eventual late game of a TPT. You have so much maneuverability. Marines are pretty horrible against upgraded battlecruisers. I mean, let's be real. And Special's already got +2, so he has a 3 upgrade. He has a 3 upgrade lead on these Vikings. Which, I mean, it's just going to be very hard. Disables and Armor Shredder missiles do a lot, but Armor Shredder's only with 2 upgrades. So even if you drop Armor Shredder on the Vikings that Special has, it's still going to be a bit of a problem. So here we are. Now the army of Time, though, runs forward. It claims space in the center of the map as we just have scans everywhere. Hello there, Fishy Spoker. Thanks so much for the follow. Hope you're enjoying this game. As the game goes late, it feels like we're finally starting to kick things off a little bit. We've had 20 minutes, 15 minutes of not a lot happening, but now both players, they are secure in their banks, they're secure in their tech, they're secure in everything else. And so they're saying, okay, but where did Special Battlecruisers go? They went on the bottom side. Or 2 of them went down to the bottom side here, but they're going to have to teleport back home because Vikings, they do a lot even still. Where's the 3rd Battlecruiser? Oh, okay, Special forgot to hotkey it, I guess. Oops. So 3-2 on the way here for in the air for Special. 2-2 on the way for Time. He finally is taking these bases on the north side. Special's taking his on the south. And while Special's bank is smaller, his income is much bigger. And if we look at resources lost, it is just about equal. So the reason that we saw the bank get smaller for a little bit for Special is he's just buying more expensive things. His army, as they're both maxed out, they're pretty close in supply. Actually, Special's down in supply a little bit. His army is a little bit more expensive in the minerals. There we go. As the next siege up, the missile turret line is gone. It's done. I like the idea, but we may be at the point where missile turret lines are maybe not cost effective anymore. Now Time, he runs on forward. Armor Shredder's on top of all of these Vikings, and the upgrade lead is only 1 here. So with the Armor Shredder, well, actually, if it's on both sides, it doesn't really matter. So the Vikings, they run on forward, trying to take another positive trade. They can't go to where the Marines are. And it's 12 Vikings to 12. The army of Time running on forward. He feels like he's broken Special here, and that may be the case. Disables on top of a ton of these tanks. The army of Special, yeah, he's going to be forced to give this base up, I think. But the Vikings run forward, and again, superior upgrades are important here. Special, actually, I think he got the first shot as well. Tanks or Marines are going to get zoned out here. But again, this is a dead planetary. Special will be forced to give up this position. Hopefully not his SCVs, but certainly the base, certainly the planetary for now. And does Special have any counter pressure anywhere else? Where is battlecruisers? I don't think so. And the scan as well means that these tanks, they try to siege on up. Special's not going to get much there. And actually, a lot of SCVs go down too. So this is actually a fantastic move here for Time, as he's going to secure the space that Special has been mining, which, considering Time has not mined the bottom side, and Special may try to do something similar, this is actually maybe not the... Special maybe volleys this down, but the Marines are still terrifying. Hmm. Thank you there, Mr. Fishy Spoker. I had a great time working on Katowice, so I'm glad you enjoyed it. If you want to see more of me in a big event when I'm not just hanging out here talking about StarCraft, I cast like 6 tournaments this last weekend, so my voice is kind of shot. I'll be doing King of Battles 3. I'll be producing it, be main commentary, be doing a bunch of other stuff. End of April. That's gonna be fun. Twitch.tv/alphax. Now, Special's gonna try to make this happen. Yamato Cannon is gonna go down, but immediate disables on top of all the battle cruisers. One does go down. And that means the Vikings actually, they were targeting the battle cruisers, not the Vikings of Special. So Special, he's got a 6-odd worker or a Viking lead here. We're gonna see Ravens get targeted on down. Battle cruisers, they're firing away, but again they get disabled. Because remember, these are +3 battle cruisers. They fight Marines pretty damn well, even if they are armor shredded, even if they are, well, if they don't do that if they're disabled, but even if everything else is going wrong. But Special just lost a lot of Vikings, and he has well and truly lost this position on the north side. Now, he still has kind of a position on the south, but in a game where time has realistically been up in mine, or has been down in mining 99% of the game, the fact that time is up a base on Special right now is significant. Special's also spent his entire bank, because he lost 5,000 resources more than his opponent in the last 5 minutes. Now, again, time looking to run on in. He's got a chokehold. That's a big armor shredder missile. So these Marines are not going to be all that impactful. Special's getting a 3rd battle cruiser on the field once again, but we're seeing how bad battle cruisers are against Ravens. They're doing what they can, but they're really not able to do all that much because they just get disabled every time, and then they get armor shredded, and the Vikings kill them. A Special is maxed out once again. He still has at least some level of a bank, and taking this position is not the most important thing. As now battle cruisers run on in, they're not disabled, they're just armor shredded. And there we go. We're gonna see some Yamatos go down, knocking down a couple more Ravens. Vikings run forward. Another battle cruiser goes down. It just feels so hard for Special. I mean, supplies are equal, but now it's a 7,000 resources gap. It's just this position that time has found himself in is just so hard for Special to take the fight. But actually, this is going to be rather nice here. He's got the faster armor shredder. The tanks are, only a couple of them are disabled. The battle cruisers are sure, but the bio looking to run on in. Special, though, he's going on the counterattack. He says, look, your entire army here is on the north side, and if I'm actually handling it fairly well, he wins the air fight. Special stems on into this 3rd base. He's going to be able to target down a lot of stuff, knocking down Vikings on the reinforcement here. He's not actually killing this command center, this orbital, as quick as one might expect, because building armor is done. That's still a dead orbital. Special cutting away at the heart of the Terran army, and this position for time has felt unbreakable for so long. A Special just got a base. He knocked down a lot of static defense. Now he's sieging away this planetary that Special has tried to take. The time has tried to take, excuse me. And where are we at? 2 Ravens to 3. Time building 3 at a time because he has the money for it. Special kind of lacking gas, but he's got a lot of Marines. Now, he doesn't want to eat these tank shots. These are only +2 tanks, actually, but even still, they pack a hefty punch. All right, so again, these tanks are sieged up, and with missile turrets as well, it's not the easiest thing for Special to break, because he's going to lose a tank on the bottom side. But as these tanks unsiege, they run backwards. And it looks like things are starting to stalemate again, I think is how we can talk about that the best. But Special thinks he's found maybe an opportunity here, but there are still a lot of tanks. These Marines are, I mean, they're heavily upgraded, but the tanks are still powerful. So there's that. And actually, they have +3 plating as well. Special cannot afford +3 plating, so for the rest of at least a while, his Vikings, he had a Viking lead, upgrade lead for a while, but they're going to be down now. We're going to see some Ravens go down right near here to start. The tanks are not sieged up just yet. Tanks will be disabled here for Special, but again, he takes the positive trade. He's going to get on top of the Vikings once again. Oh, there we go. That's what we're looking at. It's 13 Vikings to 14. So Special's losing this trade. He has all of his Vikings armor shredded. His opponent does not, and he has a positive armor upgrade advantage as well. So Special, I don't know why he's taking this fight. Maybe he feels like he can't run away, but this leaves time with a massive air dominance lead, but now Specials are going to look to run on in from both sides here. We're going to see a bunch of stuff get disabled. The Bio looking to move on in. These tanks, they should fall, maybe, but no. 5 tanks are too damn powerful. Special's not going to be able to break this position, and he's broke. He has made the supply. He's actually brought the resource loss gap a little bit closer to the 4, but he does not have much of a bank. In fairness, neither does Time, and he will start to lose tanks here. And this actually should be a tank on the north side that should go down as well, but there's actually second in the line of sight blocker that you actually, it's kind of hard to see. Oh, there we go. We're going to see another disable moving on in, but actually this is going to be useless disable. The Bio of Special is going to get on top of this tank. At least it should be able to do so very quickly. So that's just a wasted Raven energy. Special is going to gladly take that trade. And he still has plenty of tanks. He's going to find the, I mean, there's a lot of planetaries. Planetaries do not run away. So now Special going to get on top of these tanks here once again. The tank that is on this side will go down, and Special's going to be able to crack these bases wide open. Now, he does not want to lose the rally. That is annoying. It's unfortunate. He will lose the Viking, though, in the exchange. Good job there, Special, targeting that one down. But there we go. Rich gas base will be denied, and we should start to see Special slowly creep north. So now Special is even on bases. And remember, this base that Time has taken, and in fact is not mined from this entire game. That's the second command center that is there. That is a base that Special mined from for quite a while. So from that perspective, that is a base that Special has gotten money of, and Time has gotten money out of. And assuming Special is going to be able to take this base, in fact, right now he's just blocking it. Assuming Special is going to be able to take that base, he will have mined more over the course of this game as the game does continue. And well, we got a fight kicking off here. I think I was going to say, let's take a look at the actually how many minerals are left, but Special now, he's constricting his opponent. This is going to be eventually a dead planetary. Honestly, with as low eco as this game is, it may not be worth it here for Time to even repair that. Just accept the loss, maybe put an orbital there later or something. But for right now, Time cannot get where he needs to go. He cannot wedge his way on forward, and he is just wasting money. He's losing SCVs, he's losing money on the repair in a game where he is broke. So is Special. It's not a great situation for either. This game is getting scrappy as hell, folks. And there we go. The planetary will finally go down here. SCVs are going to run away, but Special has vision, so the SCVs will just run away to their doom. Special not quite shelling away at this one just yet, but realistically, it's a command center. It can just run away. And Special's in the lead again. Weird thing to say, but Special is solidly in the lead in this game once again. There we go. The command center's down. Time has lost his entire foothold on this north side of the map as Time rotates to the south to try to make sure he gets a foothold, maybe. But how many tanks do we have? It's only 2, so Special's just going to stim on top of that. He says, okay, 3 tanks, here we go. Yeah, you got some Marines, but yeah, that's not going to work out. Actually, only 1 tank from there to start, so Ravens will arrive now. Tank staging up. They should get like 1 or 2 shots before the Raven disable happens, but Time says, no, this Raven energy is precious to me. I will not spend it just yet. And that's the big deal. Time is on 15 Ravens, 11 tanks. Special is on 16 tanks, but only 3 Ravens. He has a big Marine count, but Marines are almost of a secondary composition. Ooh, Special. You don't want to lose those tanks. Marines are almost a secondary. They're almost a support unit as this game goes super late. I mean, tanks explode them. You drop armor shredder missile, and Marines are nigh useless. Nigh upon useless. But for now, Special's mining a lot more gas. Not a lot more minerals, but that really is only because a Mule Hammer has been dropped. Where did this... Okay, that orbital just came from around the 4th base. It's just one of the, oh, I'm going to build orbitals because I have money in the bank. That's investment in later on. Okay, we're going to see that tank go down there. Eventually, Bio's going to stem on top of that one. That's such an interesting dichotomy in play. Time has this massive Raven lead, but Special has this significant tank lead. We're going to have to see which one is more impactful now. Actually, a lot of these tanks do get disabled. Armor Shredder missile as well, but Special says, oh, hey, I have enough Ravens for that one here. The tank's looking to run on in. Special with the concave Vikings, or excuse me, Marines, they're going to show on up here as well. And Special wins the damn fight. Despite everything, he's going to be able to stim on in here, but hey, missile turrets get dropped down, and Special doesn't win the fight anymore. All the Marines are going down. Auto turrets on top of all of these tanks, not allowing them to retreat. And there are so many auto turrets. Special, he won the fight, but not the war. The second level of the engagement. Time wins that one. Special's army is dead. He has no bank to regain, and I think Time just won this game. What an insane fight to end it on. It felt like Special had it, and then he didn't, and then he did. And then he really didn't. So now it is 10 Ravens on the field, Time lost 6. 14 tanks to 2. Special only has 8 Marines more. He will very much struggle now to make anything happen in this game because I believe building armor actually applies to auto turrets or high-sec auto tracking applies to auto turrets as well. It's a lot harder to kill him. Time! He takes game 1. Hey, I'm going to steal like 5 seconds more of your time because I'm curious here. We saw a lot of battle cruisers in game 1. It really didn't seem to work out for Special all that much. What do you think? Do battle cruisers still have a spot in the meta in TVT? Are they that ultimate Terran late game unit and Special didn't use it right? Or are they just done and dusted and really not worth it anymore? Let me know in the comments below. I'm curious. But now, it's game 2. Spawning in the upper right here in the red. He's up 1. He is, of course, for Kaizi Gaming. Time. And his opponent in the bottom left in the teal, down 1, looking to take us to game number 3 on Glittering Ashes. It's Special. And folks, I did not have the opportunity at the start, but I am going to run away. We're going to put you on another cast camera for just a second, because I need to go use the restroom. I'll be right back. All right, folks, I'm back. Hope I haven't missed anything. Nope, literally nothing. Okay, we're good. Anyone watching the NCAA National Championship right now? I was sad. Duke lost a heartbreaker in the Final Four. To UNC, no less. Oof. Feels bad. And I know before you say bandwagon fan, I mean, my dad went there. I grew up rooting for them. Been to games at Cameron. I just didn't go there because Duke is stupid expensive, and Arizona State, it paid my tuition. So now we're going to see Hellions. The Reaper's going to move on in here. And Special, he has, or excuse me, Time has less stuff, but he has a good concave, so he should be okay here. Special, though, is going to try to rely on some micro, maybe some server advantage as well, to punch on through, and he will be successful in doing so. At the very least, he's going to kill a lot of stuff, but a Cyclone pops on out. That means that these Reapers will be forced on back now. So, hey, he gets an SCV. He kills off a lot of the early game units from Time. But as this medevac arrives, I'm a little bit scared of the Cyclone drop. But ooh, Reapers should dive back on in. They're going to get... No. They're going to get another SCV, but they pay that price. So at the end of the day, was that worth it? Yeah, just a little. At least in terms of minerals, not in terms of gas. But, you know, there's an argument to be made that in the early game, minerals are more important than gas. I mean, in TVT, sure, you want your tech. But minerals allow for economic scaling, and gas units just allow you to build cool stuff. And in really in any matchup. Economic scaling is a far more important thing than building cool stuff. But of course, you do need the cool stuff to survive. So, you know, 6 one way, half dozen the other. At the end of the day, resources lost identical. We got a tank drop. Oh, this gets off. This actually can. I've seen this end the game before. The tank's not going to be in the most obnoxious spot, and the Raven will just drop an auto turret. Oh, actually, we'll just disable it. So this drop is not going to get all that much. Cyclones actually, they lock on the medevac because they say we'll kill the tank later. We want to trap you all in here. Especially we'll lose the Cyclone though, and that's unfortunate. And now, well, tank should die. All right, there we go. So tank is dead. Nice try from Time, but Special held it pretty well. But I mean, despite that, look at the supply lead here all of a sudden. Time, despite, again, not trading the best. Yeah, maybe a little bit worse, but maybe a little bit better. But trading about even, Time finds himself, for a second, he was up 20 supply. But of course, the big deal is this is because Special has not been building a lot of army units. He got a much quicker third base. Time is going to make up for this, of course, or at least attempt to, by taking his third base at his third. But we're not there yet. Yeah, I am sorry I did not cast the SCV's mining, but you know what? Sometimes when we hydrate, we also dihydrate. And now Special running across the map here. We talked about tech units, no tech units, whatever. Special is a tank lead, 3-2, because he killed his opponent. He killed his opponent's tank. So, ooh, this Raven, well, never mind. That was a bit of a mismicro. I was talking about, oh yeah, Special's got this really powerful push now. With 3 tanks and 3 Ravens, he'll be able to disable a lot. Drop auto turrets on a ton of stuff. Well, now it's 2 Ravens to 2. And this advantage that may or may not have been there is certainly not there anymore. But, oh, he's going to get a lot of Marines. That is going to be rather nice. But as the Viking arrives, he will be able to shove the Ravens back pretty much forever. And the game goes on. Scans getting dropped every which way. Special has his third base up and mining. He's up 4 workers. And the Ravens, though, they're going to move on in because the period of Ravens are weird, right? Because on the one, oh, you guys going to get both sides of the mineral line. Oh, got juked out. The play here, actually, the most effective play at least, is you drop a auto turret here, and then you drop an more multiple right here. So there is nowhere really for the Ravens to go. And actually, Time with his Vikings, he's going to clean up the Ravens Special. We saw 7 workers go down. The cost of 2 Ravens, not really all that useful, but maybe now a Special Siege is on in here. He's found that innovation spot. This is the innovation used to kill every single Terran like this. He would just find his way outside of the natural, wedge his way on in right here, and just slowly rally across. And there was really nothing that Terran players could do. Now, I don't know that we're in that era anymore, and I don't know that we're in that stage of the game where Special can truly do that, but it was a nice position. He denied gas and he killed a tank. Okay. Looks like he's moving in once again, though, and of course, Viking lead, effective Viking lead goes to Time. Now we're going to see auto turrets go on down, and that should clean up the rest of these tanks. So Time's going to have the breakout right here, right now. In fact, Special's going to lose a lot. Wait, actually, these 2 tanks survive. They're going to get some shots on the Vikings, but of course, Vikings eviscerate mechanized units. So Special loses everything right there. And if we look at resources lost, Special's now, he's 1,500 resources down in a mirror. It's not the best look. Even as Special finds himself up 11 workers, it is 3 tanks to 2, or 3 tanks to 1, excuse me, 6 Vikings to 2, and there are 2 Ravens for Time as well. This army that Time has, that he looks to run across the map with, is a extremely powerful one. But oh wait, you know what? One thing we didn't even talk about, because I was looking at what was happening on the map instead of back in people's faces. This is a mech game. Special's playing mech, which means that even as he is low on Vikings at the moment, eventually his Vikings will just continue to be better. Because, well, he'll have armor upgrades pretty quickly, and Hellions are going to find their way on into this third base. We're going to have to see how many they get done. Unfortunately, folks, there's no game heart, so we won't have the pop-up. He was at, Time was at 7 dead workers, and now he's at 10, so 4 Hellions, 3 SCVs. You're throwing away minerals As a Terran at this point, you really only care about gas. So maybe not the most cost effective, but not horrible. The thing that's scary, as we look at this game going on, is the fact that Special has been trading worse than his opponent in a mech game. When we look at mech versus bio, normally we look to see the meching player trade better. The bio player will take the map. The meching player says, okay, well, that's fine. I'll just out-trade you, and that's how I'm going to win this game. But in this game, Time will eventually be able to take the map because this is Glittering Ashes. And as of right now, he finds himself up almost 2,000 resources. Feels like it's going to be a little bit of a slog here for Special to find a good position in this game. Now, the fourth base, Marine, Tom says, I'll help my crew you. I'll get the Hellbat. It's going to be great. I mean, nice try, but not really going to work out for him all that well. The Vikings run forward. Special with the Viking equality, but again, he does have better upgrades on the Vikings. So 8 Vikings to 8, but Special has armor, so technically that does go in favor of the Mexican Terran. His fourth base is on location now. Something died there. I think that was maybe just a Marine. But fifth base on the way here for Time. The crazy thing, and again, maybe I'm just not up to date in TVT mech meta, but it feels like Special's going to max out first. And that is not how it feels like mech normally happens, but we're going to have to see how well this works out for Time. He's running across. We have a Hellbat drops. Blue Flame is done, so they're going to shred some mineral lines. As now Time looking to run on in. Now, the first couple tanks defensively will be disabled here, but Special going to run on in with even more. Tanks of Time get a first couple, they get their first sieges up, so that's going to be annoying, but we're going to see, okay, yeah, there we go. Hellions run on forward. Their job really is to tank some space. So, of course, Special can actually put his tanks in a nice defensive position here. Hellbat drops in the main base. They're starting to find some value. Hellbat drops in the natural as well. Getting a little less because the Marauders are being annoying. And Special loses the air battle. Armor Shredder missile better than upgrades. And actually, he didn't even have really an upgrade lead in the sky. But now the tanks are going to run on forward here. SCVs run forward just to provide some vision. As now Special will be able to get some more tanks. Dropping a scan. And as the Hellions try to dive forward, they will be unsuccessful in doing so. But now, okay, the Army of Special, he says, yeah, I can make this happen. I have better mech upgrades. I will break you right here. And it looks like he will be correct. Hellions running on forward. They're not really targeting the Marines, though, which is a problem. They're just buying time for the tanks to siege. And that means this is a... Okay, never mind. Maybe Special doesn't break this. He's up workers, but he's down 5,000 resources. I cannot believe these tanks didn't go down. It may have honestly, maybe almost been better for Special to not siege the tanks up. Just look to run it in, but again, okay, a couple SCVs will be pulled on off, which is again is buying time here for Special to run on forward. The tanks, though, from Time, they still survive. One is still here, and as the Vikings land on top of things, I think Special just maybe dead. Mismanaging this fight, mismanaging this position. Yeah, his economy's better, but as the Liberators siege on up, there are. Well, he still doesn't have the Viking lead. He's going to be forced to give up this base. He's going to take one on the western side, on the 9 o'clock position. But Time already has the equivalent, so he's going to be up 2 bases pretty soon. And the only reason that Special is not actually dead is the fact that, well, the rally's taking a little bit of time here. As now we're going to see some Hellions look to dive in the natural, but Marauders, they slow them down. They were going to take a little bit of time to get in here, but Special will find some value. All right, so Special loses the base, but Time backs up for now. He says, okay, I want to secure things. I think you may be taking a base somewhere else. We're going to figure some things out here. So now he's going to move his way to the left side. He's found himself a 30 supply lead. This is what you expect, right? You expect to see the bio player build these significant army supply leads, and then eventually the meching player, they have a strong, solid defensive position. They're able to turtle it out, and it's fine. But resources lost to say otherwise. Special now down 6,000 resources over his opponent, and he actually feels the need to go Thors in this game. Now, Thors are good units, and I have raged ad nauseum about how strong Thors are. They do more, fully upgraded Thors do more DPS than Dark Templar do. But Thors against Marauders are paper. And I guess the Thors are just to deal with the fact that Time has an almost insurmountable air lead, and we may even see Time drop a Fusion Core. Because we talk about battle cruisers for special in game 1, yeah, they're kind of this ultimate Sky Terran composition, but realistically, when we see them as this ultimate Sky Terran composition, it's when we're talking about mech versus bio. We're gonna have to see what happens here. It's Time again. He's looking to siege on forward. Special has a lot of tanks. He's got 5 Thors. He's got 7 tanks, but Liberators, as they siege on up, they say, yeah, that's 2 tanks. I don't care. Tanks will not go down though, but they will force the bio off position, and Special once again he's forced to give up the space, and he's just gonna go for a base trade. Special is going for, well, actually I guess he's not, but now it's a 3-base Terran versus a 6-base Terran, and well, okay, I guess he's going for base trade. Just felt the need to siege on up here. He's gonna find actually a lot of this army here from Time is just on move command. That's starting to be something. Oh, he's gonna get some free Liberators as well, at least to get damage on some Liberators. But now Time has realized what's happening. He's gonna stim on in, and you know, actually, the funny thing, he doesn't have a good base trade army. Maybe Vikings can drop on top of things, but he really doesn't have all that great of a base trade army. Is now these tanks, they should go down here. Hellions will get on top of them. Thor's killing them off, and Thor's actually fairly good against tanks because, of course, they're big beefy units. They have a really big hitbox, so splash damage doesn't hit a lot of them, and they're sitting at 450 HP. So they're beefy boys, and they don't eat a lot of splash. So now especially he's down 20 workers, but he does have 2-2. He is up 20 army supply. He's building 4 more Thors. 4 Thors, and 7 years ago, our mech fathers brought forth a new composition. 5 Thors, excuse me. How dare I say 4? Now the army of Special running on forward here. Liberators are going to siege on up everything. This one tank is actually, we talk about tanks maybe not being the best against Thors, but if you can't move on top of them and just kill them, bit of a problem. So Special is on 3 bases still. He has moved his main orbital on over to this 4th base. Oh, Liberators are going to get up. Oh, this is the Thors they're all in high impact payload, but I'm actually not sure if that's what you want to do against all of the choke here. But Special, he is not winning this fight. The Marauders get on top of all the Thors. Special says GG. Time moves on to the round of 4.